Hello and welcome to the legendary Pokemon. Check this thing here out. This thing is awesome. This is a Unova region Pokédex, a real life one, from Jack's Pacific in 2011. This has many pros to it and many cons. I will be discussing all of those in the video to come. Without further ado, guys, let's begin. Ooh, let me try to ID that. So, to start the review of our little buddy here, let's turn him on. What you need to do to turn this guy on is actually lift this slidey thingy upward, and then flip a switch that's on the back, next to the battery thing. And I'll try to get that in the shot. It takes a few seconds for it to actually boot up. It's not booting up much, though. But yep, that was the intro. So here we have a few options. We have Pokédex, search, challenges, and options. 4 awesome options. Yes, options. Also, whenever you choose a category, it will actually talk to you in voice. If you didn't figure that out already, let's go into Pokédex. So, I will show you all of the awesome Pokemon that are actually on this Pokédex. And that is all.
Oh, Papa! Evolve into? Do what? Do what? Evolve into?
Yes, this Pokédex only has about half of the Unova Pokemon that actually exist. To make matters even worse, it only has half of the evolutions that are there. For example,
Evolve into? Herdier. Herdier. Evolve into? Evolve into? Evolve into? Evolve into? Evolve into? Reuniqueless.
yes, and that is the only Pokemon that actually appear on this Pokédex. Now let's try the search option. This'll be good. Let's try trainer challenges.
Trainer challenges.
Yes, we have Who's That Pokemon? We also have Who Has the Advantage? Finally, Which Does Not Belong? We also have this little Pokemon trainer quiz option here. So I'm just going to go with Who's That Pokemon first. Round 1.
Which Pokemon is Herdier?
Oh, it's so hard. I'm gonna guess this one. No. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit. Yes, I got a new pose unlocked. For Tepig. For winning. Yes. No. No! Let's move on to the next one. Now, this game is a bit, well, bad. For a few reasons that you may see, that may occur to you. So, let's just start. Let's go with Duat. So he's correct.
Correct. Tepig is a fire-type Pokemon. Duat is a water-type Pokemon.
Fire is weak against water. Duat has the advantage.
Let's try again. Fresh around. Survive. Who has the advantage?
Well, I'm gonna say Servine. No.
Correct. Servine is a grass-type Pokemon.
Reshiram is a fire type.
Pokemon.
Well, see, that is what makes no sense on this Pokédex.
Let's try again.
Dragon.
Galvantula, who has the advantage?
They say grass is weak against the dragon. Reshiram is a fire type. They could have just said that it's weak against fire. You see? You see? Yeah. I told you so. So who has the advantage? Well, Galvantula's a bug type. He's a psychic type, so he has the advantage.
Correct. Reuniqua is a psychic-type Pokemon. Galvantula is a bug-type Pokemon. Psychic is weak against bug. Galvantula
Has the advantage. Let's try again.
Woobat. Clink. Who has the advantage?
Woobat or Clink? I'm gonna say Clink. Let's see what type of weird matchup it has now.
Woobat is a psychic-type Pokemon. Clink is a steel-type Pokemon. Psychic is weak against steel. Clink has the advantage.
I'm pretty sure Psychic isn't weak against Steel.
Herdier. Who has the advantage?
I might be wrong, but... What? Clink or Herdier? What type of question is that? Neither of them are weak to each other. I guess he has the advantage because normal doesn't do much against Steel, but really, nothing is... There are no weaknesses there.
Correct. Herdier is a normal-type Pokemon.
Know that?
Clink is a steel-type Pokemon.
Know that?
Normal is weak against steel.
Nope, not true.
Clink has the advantage.
Steel is resistant against normal. You see, this is the type of stuff this outputs. Oh, new pose unlocked. Epic.
Want to play again?
No.
Who has the advantage?
Now let's try which doesn't belong.
Sandile, Excadrill, Scraggy. Which doesn't belong?
This is hard. Correct.
Correct.
Because I chose the fighting type out of the ground types.
Ground-type Pokemon. Scraggy is a dark-type.
And there are only 50 Pokemon on this Pokédex. It's not very hard to memorize.
Kadab. Which doesn't belong?
This Pokédex is very interruptive. I like to Dexter better. Well, Pidove is the flying type. The others are grass types.
Correct. Snivy and Pansage are grass-type Pokemon. Kadab
I
is
might just speed this up, guys. Now in this options tab here, we have a very limited functionality options. We have volume. This is actually the lowest setting, if you could believe that. And it goes all the way up to... Well, for some reason you press the right button to make it go up, instead of the left button, which it obviously should be. That makes it go down. But if you press the right button... And that's like the annoying no sound of this Pokédex. We also have contrast, which actually is kinda meh when it comes to this, or compares to this at least. It has this kind of slider thing here, and you could slide it between these 4 options to make it look really faded, somewhat in the middle, or dark. And I don't know why you would want to do this, but you could reset the whole thing. No.
volume.
So that is the whole options tab. I'm sorry to say. Being caught up in all of its software's many cons, I forgot to review the exterior of the Unova Pokédex. So I will do that now. Up top here, we have about, I say, 2-inch display that is actually smaller than the Game Boy Color's display, and more green. Before I continue with the review, I would like to say that I actually really like this thing. It's really neat to have. Even though it's many cons, it's not the greatest technologically wise or software wise, but it actually is really neat to have a Unova Genuine Pokédex. And it's pretty cool. It has a nice speaker over here. This thing has a whole 4 buttons, and it has the middle button, the white button here, which is a select button. It looks like a cherish ball here, not a Pokeball. And then we have the right slider, which is kind of like right on the D-pad. And then we have the left button, which is like left on the D-pad. And then it's very bulky. It's bulkier than the original Game Boy. Technically, it's bulkier than the original Game Boy. About the same when it's folded like that. But on the back, we have all the copyrights, trademarks, instructions, and a few screws if you want to disassemble this. And then we have this actually pretty neat slider scanner thing for, I guess, this camera looking thing back here. It's kind of like the scanner that they use to find the Pokemon. It's pretty cool. Nice that they added that feature. And it snaps into place like that. Let me focus in on that a bit. There we go. So you just slide it like that, and then you can push it back into place when you're done. The back here has 3 screws. 2 here, actually, and 1 here. It also has these 2, and a few more up here. It also contains the on-off switch. And you could also unscrew to replace the battery here, and the battery lasts forever. Look at this. Copyright 2011. It is now November in 2015, and this thing still hasn't run out of battery since it's been first purchased. So, that is just a testament to the awesome power-saving abilities, and I actually have the Game Boy Color here. These two have very similar battery lives, I've heard, and it has this Pokemon logo here of Reshiram and Zekrom instead of Pikachu. And then this weird green thingy here, and then when it is fully opened, it is about the size of a Game Boy Advance SP, a little bit thinner, so maybe about like the DS Lite-ish size. Yeah, about the DS Lite when it's folded out like that. When the DS Lite is closed, obviously. And then the display, I'm sorry to say, actually looks a bit worse than the original Game Boy. So let's turn both of these on. As you can see, the Game Boy obviously has many more pixels than the Unova Region Pokédex does. It also doesn't have this weird line across the bottom of the screen, but that does happen to some of them. This probably has less ghosting though. Let's turn down the volume on that, and let's just turn this off. This has more ghosting than this one, but this one has a battery light, so you can't argue with that. Hoorah! Oh. Hoorah! So the question finally comes, should I get the Unova Region Pokédex? Well, my answer is, it depends on what type of consumer you are. If you enjoy games at a relatively low price, if you do not have a Game Boy or a Nintendo 3DS for that matter, then, and if you also don't want to pay for these in all their games, this is actually a pretty safe bet, because it is actually pretty entertaining. If you memorize all the 50 Pokemon, it's actually pretty fun to do the Pokemon quiz, the matchups, the who doesn't belong, and I've had fun with it overall. But obviously, if you have something like a Game Boy or something like that, with a Pokemon game, then I'm not sure if you would want it. You may want it because it's actually pretty neat to have an actual Pokédex. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's a necessity then. Anyway, overall I probably do recommend this Unova Region Pokédex. And as always, like, comment, dislike, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.